So the Xbox Direct happened last week, and they announced some really cool stuff. They showed some really cool games that were coming out, all of which are in Game Pass. But they had one shadow drop that really was awesome for me, and I want to talk about that here today. And that is the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, basically like the remake in Unreal Engine 5. That game was really a game that I loved a lot on the Xbox 360 back in the day. I think it was like high school or maybe like early college for me. The game was awesome, so I had to check it out. It dropped in Game Pass, so you know I'm a Game Pass haver, so it was kind of like free for me to play. So without further ado, though, let's jump into some of this gameplay, and like you gotta check this game out because I think it is phenomenal. Man, I forgot how dope this game is. So, you know, alright, so back in the day, back in the Xbox 360 era day, Ninja Gaiden 2 was the first I played in the series, of the modern series. I will say that I had seen Ninja Gaiden 1, the super hard one. I didn't own it, a friend of mine did. I remember watching him play it. I think I even tried playing it a little bit, and man, it was brutal. It was so brutal. And I don't know. I don't even know why I jumped into 2 first. It came out, and I was really interested. You know, I'm really kind of coming off the heels of like Devil May Cry, and you know, it was a game that really resonated with me as far as just being really fun. A huge fan of the fiends, the arch fiends, and all the crazy stuff, all the weapons, just so much going on. But then like that brings us to this version, right? So, you know, color me surprised, right? Watching the Xbox Direct, and they open with the mystery game being Ninja Gaiden 4, and then at the end they just shadow drop real fast. Boom, hey, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which is kind of like they did with the original one, Ninja Gaiden Black, where it's like kind of like a remake. And they just throw you right into like, hey, it's in Game Pass. Fuck, right now, have fun. And it's like, I was like, oh man, that's awesome. So I immediately go to the store, right? I mean, like mid direct. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna start downloading this right now, and it's not there yet. But then like an hour later or something, it was there, and boom, jump in, and it's Ninja Gaiden 2, but with like some quality of life stuff. And it's in Unreal Engine 5. And I'm not gonna lie, so I have not played this game like since the 360. So I don't know what all is new and not, because like I think I have suffered, you know, suffering's maybe not the right word, but like I have come from you know, this kind of thing where I'm playing games so much nowadays that like I'm starting to take modern things for granted. Like I remember in this time period, like, you know, dual analog camera existed, but a lot of games back in this time, like Onimusha, some of the Resident Evils, had fixed camera angles. Don't remember if this game did or not. It definitely, this remake definitely has free camera with dual analog. So, you know, hey, if it didn't before and it does now, it's great. If it did before, it still does, so that's great too. But I mean, beyond that, it just feels real clean, feels real good. So if you haven't played this game, imagine like hard, brutal, violent Devil May Cry, because like it is action. It is through. I mean, like you're watching the gameplay now. I'm literally just gonna have like B-roll gameplay in the background. It is bloody as shit. It's like insane. I mean, it's, first off, before I even get into just the straight up like violence, this game does something. This is the first game I remember, and really the first game in the series of the modern series, Ninja Gaiden 1 and its Black variant, did this. It's like the first game that really shows me of like, you know, hey, like these are legit bad guys. And I don't mean that because they're hard or whatever, like a Dark Souls. I mean, like, you know, you play, you know, beat 'em up kind of action 3D beat 'em ups like this, you know, your Devil May Cries, your Bayonettas, and like once in a while, maybe a couple enemies will attack you at the same time, but usually it's like there'll be a crowd of like 4 or 5 enemies, and you know, they kind of take turns, like, oh, you go, oh, you go. And you know, it's that's just the way it is, you know, and you kind of get to do your, you know, your power fantasy, you're over the top going nuts, just ripping them up, or whatever. Maybe there'll be like 2 enemies fighting you where you're kind of dealing with one, another guy hits you from behind, Not this game. This game, everyone is fighting you all the time. Like when they say, "Hey, make sure to block," dude, make sure to block. Because I mean, like, if there's 5 enemies, all 5 of these guys are slashing at you at the same time. Like, no mercy. It's this is it's like this real life. This is real life. We're not messing around. And that's one of the things that really like makes this game like just feel like more legit, more real. So you have like a bunch of moves and stuff for your weapons, combo based, right? So it's real simple. Heavy attack, light attack, block. You and magic. Magic is pressing 2 buttons together. Blocking enables you to dash or counter. If you hold the heavy attack, you can do like the ultimate technique. You can get upgrades from enemies, like in the form of currency, life, magic, regeneration. The currencies are used to upgrade the weapons to give you more moves and stronger weapons. This game has a ton of weapons, by the way. I mean, the gameplay I'm going to show is kind of early game, like first or like second level. So like, there's only 3 weapons so far for melee, like the katana, the claws, which I'm not a fan of, and like the crazy like extendo pole ass whoopy beatdown stick. I don't remember all the weapons in this game because it has really been a while, but one I really remember loving is you fight a really cool fiend in a coliseum, and after you beat him, you get a giant fucking scythe. Like, it's just huge, and I remember it being like my go-to ever since like that part of the game. So I can't wait to get that far again. Bosses are really cool, really like vibrant. Later in this level, maybe I'll show some gameplay of it, maybe not, I don't know, but like you get like a bow and arrow, because like they have shurikens, and literally those just interrupt enemies, or at least keep your chain going. But like the bow and arrow, you use that to take out people from afar. You don't have to worry about arrow count, which is nice. But then like on to just like the straight gory gore. So like you can cut off limbs, heads, arms, legs, cut them in half. Everyone can be taken out with like a finisher. You have your crazy ultimate move where you just go berserk, like Disco Inferno on them. You can use magic to just set them ablaze. But the thing is they don't give up. Like, and by that I mean like you can cut off a guy's leg and then move on to like the next guy, and that guy's leg, he will frog hop at you, and like he'll even like suicide bomb you. He'll like jump on you, stab you in the chest with like a grenade kunai, and just explode, doing massive damage. You cut off a guy's arm, he ain't done fighting. Later on you get a couple moves. Actually, you have the ability to do all the moves if you know the button combinations, but they give you scrolls so you can learn them. But you get like the ability to, with a katana anyway, like dash forward and like cut off their head, like if it's a weaker enemy or a damaged enemy. They have like this like front flip throw that's so brutal, and if you throw them into a wall, it's the guillotine throw. It will rip their head off, usually other body parts as well. I mean, it's just brutal. Like, this game is so brutal. It is awesome. And yeah, it is your classic like Devil May Cry style, in the sense of like, you get some healing items, some magic recovery items. You can level up your weapons to get new abilities and moves. I mean, like, it is definitely that game. I never played 3, and this is actually making me want to play 3. This is actually making me want to go back and play Black of 1 and beat it and kind of see what's going on. Because like I said, I jumped in on 2. Like, 2, the character's already established, you know what I mean? I don't know anything about 3, and 4 looks really cool because they have like a whole new character and a whole new vibe. So yeah, I'm really excited. But no, like, this game is so freaking slick. If you have Game Pass, it is a no-brainer. Like, just go download it, like, right now. Play Asia, I think, has a monopoly on the physical version, and for some reason it's only PS5. But like, beyond that, like, just play this game. It's so fun. I mean, if you're into like action stuff, and they have, of course, difficulties that make it harder, or they have one difficulty that makes it, manageable if you're like a busy person and don't have time to get good scrub. You could do that too. But yeah, great game. I'm so glad this came out. Like, this is one of those weird, like, I don't want to call it like a guilty pleasure game, because like, when I think guilty pleasure game, I think of a bad game I like Buck Bumble. Like, that game sucks, but I like it. Or like Beavis and Butthead on the Super Nintendo. That game's not great, but I love it. But this game, like, I don't want to say guilty pleasure. Like, I almost want to say like under the radar. Like, because, you know, it's pretty old. Like, Ninja Gaiden 2 is pretty old, and, like, nowadays, just people haven't played it, and now you get the ability to play it. If you haven't, like, now's the time. It's really dope. I mean, if this gameplay hasn't done it for you, then, you know, maybe it's not for you, but I'm telling you, give it a shot. It's fun. It's cool. It's really stylized action. I mean, it's a good time. So that's just my 2 cents. I hope you enjoyed watching this gameplay and hearing me ramble about it and watching people get beaten into pieces. But I think that's pretty much going to do it for showing this this awesome game off. But hey, I mean, don't take my word for it. If you have Game Pass, definitely check it out. But I mean, what do you think about this game? Is this one that you played back in the day? Is this one that maybe you're checking out for the first time now? Also, I do know that the PS5 actually has a physical copy that's kind of linked to Play Asia for some reason. It's kind of weird too that they only have a physical copy for PS5 since I think like Team Ninja was bought by Microsoft, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Still a cool thing. Let me know if you guys are going to be checking this one out in the comments down below. That's going to do it for me, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. That'd be awesome. But as always, my friends, take it easy.